it's Friday.
Welcome to the shit show. Things are going to get weird. It's your fave villain, Kail Lowry. And you're listening to Barely Famous. All right, y'all. My next two guests do not need an introduction because you already know who they are. Farrah and Sophia, welcome to Barely Famous Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. I'm so happy. I haven't seen you, I think, since 2018 at the VMAs.
At the VMAs? For some reason, I remember it at a reunion.
Was it at a reunion?
But it was a brief passing, but I don't know what year it was.
Okay. I know that we took a picture together at one of the VMAs. I want to say it was 2018, somewhere around that. And then before that, again. I thought it was Anderson Cooper, which was like 2011. It's a long time ago.
Long times ago.
Yeah. And I have never met Sophia, so it's so nice to meet you.
This is the first time. Yeah. I wanted to bring her with.
As you should. I think that's great. So you've been doing interviews together. I saw you guys on Bunny's podcast, which was really cool. Yeah. And you guys got a lot of good feedback about that.
Of course. What's not to love here?
Well, speaking of that, you just made your debut in comedy.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like it was overdue. Yeah. I feel like I fit right on in. I truly am overwhelmed by all of the comedy success from that debut, and kind of really like taking a, I don't know, I've been doing back-to-back comedian podcasts, and they're like, let's tour, let's do all this. And I think I am someone who has so much going on that I'm like, okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to get agents, managers, and touring together. Mm-hmm. And not I feel like a lot of comedians, I love that they are their own business in their own right, and they just go, go, go. But I've kind of recentered my life to like 12-step principles, taking time, having balance, having a full life, not just throwing it all into work and like people pleasing. So I'm kind of taking the whole comedy tour thing a little slower than some of my amazing comedian friends. But I am loving comedy. But it's different coming back to work. It's different coming back to work full on.
For sure. And so if you toured, what would that look like for Sophia? Like, would you be able to take, are you homeschooled? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you would be able to go if you wanted to.
Sophia's here today. She's on this ride. She gets to be where she wants to be. She gets to travel.
Do you love that or do you hate that?
I love it.
You do?
So much. I would prefer it over public school any day.
So what is it like to maintain friendships while being homeschooled?
Honestly, I have a lot of friends mostly online, like gaming and stuff, but I do still have a lot of friends from public school and private school.
And so do you get to get together with them when you're home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So because you know
that playing games online, like I'm sure all the kids who might be hearing this,
sure.
There's no distance that matters anymore. So
yeah, well, I mean that's great though, because then you probably also meet other people when you're traveling to be able to like game with or do anything like that.
Yeah,
that's really cool. And you celebrated your 16th birthday in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something that you've always wanted to do, or what was that like?
I mean, I saw the cathedral on TikTok for like 2 years straight, and I've just been obsessing over it. So I really wanted to go to Germany, and I got to. Yeah. And I literally could sit and stare at the cathedral for hours.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. Beautiful.
The dome. I just want to say, I kept calling it cathedral, and everyone's like, it's the dome. It's the dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. Germany's really pretty.
And how do you react when Sophia comes to you and like asks you to go to Germany, or like says she wants a Tesla, or like you just do it? You don't even... You let her be herself and don't have any influence?
I think like my generation, like any other parent, like we are raised in our own world, and then we have a new generation who is far greater, awesome, has new thoughts, has an imagination, and you can either rise with that or you can stagnate their creativity. So like when I see my daughter want to do something that I may not have been able to do, like granted it's a full circle year. You think back to being 16, your sweet 16 wasn't going on a plane, going to an international place. Either was mine.
Right.
And I'm not going to take that away from my daughter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
So where do you want to go to next?
Honestly, I really want to go back to Tokyo.
You've been to Tokyo already?
Yes. But Sophia, I have to say, like, Sophia was sending me some Saudi Arabian island.
No, that's for your birthday.
Okay. I was like, I'm getting confused with all this. But Sophia loves to travel, and I'm so happy that I have a daughter who just opens my horizons, is down for a trip, down to get out of like the world that we know. I mean, if I didn't have Sophia, I'd be pretty like culturally deprived, I think, at this
sure.
point in my life.
I love that, though. My oldest son is about your age, and he's the same way. We want to go to Egypt and do the pyramids and like see all of that. So very aligned there. What was your reaction when you found out your mom was going into comedy? Did you guys have a conversation, or did you just pop out? Did she just pop out and say she was doing it?
I mean, she's been watching comedy shows and studying comedy for like what feels like 2 years now. Like she would just turn on a random comedy show on Netflix like every night pretty much. But I think she's amazing at it.
Would you ever help her?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you ever help her write jokes?
I mean, I've given her some advice.
Yeah, for sure. Sophia's silly. Sophia's so like her dad, who had natural like silliness, comedy in his own right. And yeah, I mean, there's good genes here to learn from.
Yeah, yeah. How does it feel when your mom says stuff like that about your dad?
I love it. I admire it, and I always listen to all the stories that she tells me about my dad, and it's really important to me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Love you. Love you.
Do you have contact with your dad's family at all, or no?
I do,
You
yeah.
do? Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
I love them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, okay, so tell me about, was Dr. Drew at your show? Did I read rumors? How was that? Do you get along with Dr. Drew?
I laugh because I'm like, literally, I think people do not understand how far removed and how much I've moved on from Teen Mom.
Okay.
I know it's like a world that we are so from, integrated, right? Our brand started there.
For sure.
But yeah, so the entire staff of producers who've known me, us, since, 16, whatever, they also were astonished that I have my own set. I got my own life, and it's not about who's in my crowd. And I think I kind of was leading tidbits of, I don't care who's in the crowd, I'm showing up and I'm working. And so, yeah, they were like, are you going to go in and roast Dr. Drew? But it's not about that. And I think everyone really was raving about the show, and everyone connected with it. And I think you have to read the room when you're an amazing comedian. It is a wave of emotion. You have to connect with anyone. Whoever hates you, loves you, is indifferent about you, and you just want an amazing feeling at the end of that show. And everyone applauded. People were standing up and applauding. Rave reviews. So that was awesome. But no, I'm not here to get along or not get along with anyone.
Right. No, that's not part of your job. Right.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was, I don't know if it was him showing support or what that was, but I saw rumors online and I was like,
what was that? They were like, what is this?
Yeah. I had no idea what was going on. But I know that, going from, you wrote the book Diary of a Teen Mom, and now you're doing comedy. Like, what a transition.
Yeah.
What a transition.
Yeah.
And Sophia has been here for the entire ride. What is that like? Like, how do you feel every time your mom does something, or you get to do something, or you guys are in the headlines? Like, how does that feel for you at 16? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you feel indifferent?
I mean, I'm just kind of used to it, so I don't really think anything of it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You get to see things created. You get to know how you want to create whatever you want in your future, and see how to get there from zero to the top.
How did you get into comedy? Like, how, because I don't even know how you would start.
So I got into comedy, I believe it was 2012. Dave Attell asked me to be a celebrity guest on Comedy Central. That's where I got my SAG-AFTRA credits. And I started receiving residual checks when I got fired from MTV or Teen Mom. And I was like, you know what? I must have been doing work wrong with Teen Mom because I don't get residual checks. And I didn't know really if I wanted to continue working for a little bit. And then my friends, who obviously sponsor your largest comedians and all that stuff, agents and managers I'm friends with, we would go to the Comedy Store, and a lot of the comedians at the time I was friends with. And so I was watching them. This was before COVID. And that's when I was kind of reconnecting with the comedy idea, because I had that break in television. And then I was just really focused on my entertainment degree, and I really wanted to reposition myself. I'm in my master's in digital marketing, and I just kept a lot of it is actually screenwriting in my marketing. And I had to switch from screenwriting into digital marketing. And the more and more and more I kept writing for all these amazing things, I was like, I want to go just talk about this stuff. And the comedy was that. So I think it was just in alignment. It was very easy for me. And I see like it's not always easy for every comedian. So I just have to kind of be careful. There's been a little jealousy and rifts here in the back end.
Yeah. And I do think comedy now is a little bit different than it was years ago. So the same way that you got your start is not going to look the same as someone who started, 10 years ago in comedy, because it can be rough, I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about O Positive for a second, because this is a women's health company and I always want to share these type of products with the girlies. So they offer a range of symptom targeting supplements that support women at every stage of life, from your first period to well beyond your last. O Positive has the best-selling women's health products at Target and on Amazon, and Urovaginal Probiotics is one of the top 5 supplements on Amazon. They have multiple #1 products in Target for intimate care, PMS, and menopause categories. So if you're looking for anything like that, I definitely suggest looking at O Positive. We all know that sex, tight clothing, sweat from working out, hormones, periods, whatever can disrupt vaginal health and lead to an imbalance in the vaginal flora or the pH, causing unhealthy odor, taste, abnormal discharge, or just discomfort. Urovaginal Probiotic is a blend of 4 powerful strains of lactobacillus probiotics, and they're backed by research showing that these strains support healthy vaginal odor, vaginal pH, and flora. And Uro contains prebiotics that increase effectiveness of the probiotics, which is a game changer. And when you take these 2 capsules a day, Uro delivers noticeable benefits within 8 weeks. You may actually see the results sooner. So many customers talk about how the improvement in their vaginal health has led to greater confidence, which means better sex and intimacy. So if you guys want to take proactive care of your health, head to opositive.com/famous or enter famous at checkout for 25% off your first order. That's opositive.com/famous for 25% off. I think that you don't get enough credit for your business mind. I think that, I've seen so many things over the years in the headlines, but I don't know if you know this, but when you published,
tell me what's up.
You might remember. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember everything, but
when you wrote My Teenage Dream Ended.
Yeah.
I reached out to you because I didn't understand how you were able to get the book published. And I was trying to publish my book. And so I was like, Farrah did this. Like, I need to reach out to Farrah because she has like this business mind. And you had a website and you had this and you had that. And I was like, how do I do what she's doing? And you started so young. And I what was your parents' involvement?
I'm sorry I missed that message or...
No, I think you responded to me.
Oh, I hope I think you told me. Sorry. I was like going through so much then.
Oh, I'm sure. I can imagine. But I was just like, how is she doing all of this? And so I over the years have sort of followed your journey and like your business decisions because I think whether people love you or hate you, they're reading about you and you're all over their feed. And I think that, there's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, that's really weird that so I was the first girl who walked into MTV Publishing and I got told, no, we're not doing books. And I got back from, we went to, was it Copenhagen? Where were we? Denmark? We got back from Denmark. I kept writing this journal. I was very suicidal, depressive. I didn't know my disabilities back then. And this journal, like, God put on my heart, like, you're going to go, you're going to go make this meeting happen and you're going to reach out and you're going to demand that it's going to be made. I flew to New York. I took the meeting. I said, I am going to make this with or without you. This is your once in a lifetime opportunity. This is going to be like a top selling book. You need to get behind this. Or it's like, why am I even doing this show? I left. They sent me a book deal and it really did end up opening up and breaking open a whole trail of all the women having a book deal offer, whether they took it or not from my series.
Interesting, because I didn't get that opportunity, so I wanted to.
That's why I'm like a little conflicted here because Macy was going in for like some writing thing at the time where she was trying to do like some broadcasting thing. I feel like she was very much like, I will be the first one to ever write or do something, but I don't know what transpired. I feel like there was a lot of women suppression. I'm just being honest. When it comes to Teen Mom, there was a lot of male toxicity and influence. I just speak rightfully so because I had the same executives who told me no, showing up at that comedy set, even with Dave Attell, steering me off of that, trying to just make me stay in this lane. It was always kind of suppressive. And I feel like that is a problem when I hear reports today where they're like, oh, Teen Mom has done so much for people who had like a lesser than circumstance. But I think it's like, you can always give me money. What am I doing with the money? Mm-hmm. How am I challenging myself? How am I breaking through this ceiling that has me stuck? And if I wasn't crazy and depressive, if I wasn't in a suicidal state, I'm going to tell you right now, I would have never been strong enough to go fly on my own without my parents' support, just kind of just like forcing executives who really have power trips with their employees all day long. It was a horrible culture that I saw, and to force them to do an action something. But yeah, some of the other teen moms of my cast weren't jumping to it when that opportunity was open. And then others, like I just heard, we'll add on more ghostwriters. We'll make whatever happen so they can have that opportunity because they weren't like able to formulate their story. Like I just had everything written out and I was starting to structure it. And I'm like, this is about ready to wrap up. You need to be a part of this. So yeah, I don't know. I think you take some of your insanity and try to have some sanity with it and say like, this is what we're going to do. And I even do that till this day, even this week, with the things that take years to make that I've been working on. You have to just say like, God gave me this. This is going to happen with or without you. You can either take part, you can be a part of this $1 million idea, or you can go piss it away. And I think like that's kind of where like me and Teen Mom fall out straight up.
Right. No, and I can see that looking back, I can see all of that. I am shocked to hear that they were giving everyone the opportunity to do a book deal because I got turned down by 6 publishing houses before they offered me anything.
That's really upsetting.
And I don't know if it was like the difference between Teen Mom and Teen Mom 2. Like maybe there was a...
okay, so I want to talk about this if you're open to talking about it. I feel like that there is a very big, even when I see Teen Mom 3, like, look, I'm not trying to study Teen Mom. I've had enough of Teen Mom. But I do feel like there's just like a disparity. There's like something that's not equal. There's something that's not right. When I see from OG Teen Mom 2, another, level of Teen Mom coming in, and also other women on Teen Moms from the franchise internationally that have reached out to me. I feel like they've just been dropped in disarray. And I think that I've always advocated when I've been hired, like back and forth. I'm like, there has to be something that helps people bounce back and go into life in a normal way. And to me, that was the trauma center, the intensive healing center that MTV did pay for after I was like fired, I think like 3 times. And then they needed me back for their family boot camp thing to be picked up. And I can't keep coming back in attack. It's like financial abuse, it's work abuse, the stress on someone's mental and identity wears, and lots of the people on the show have disabilities, so it definitely affects people. And I think an intensive trauma healing center should be offered to all of the mothers on this show and the children, the dads involved, even the parents, because there's just a history of people not believing in mental health here, and that is very toxic in a work environment. But I do feel like the disparity of different generations of filming and Teen Moms, there is a lack of support completely throughout the entire franchise.
Yeah. Did you get offered to go to a facility at any point? And did you go?
I did.
And you went?
Because I kept saying, there needs to be something here for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, to what degree do you just keep asking for money? I'm sorry. Like, I will always have the legal upper hand to get more and more money from people. But to what extent does brokenness, if you're broke or if you're rich, what is the common denominator that helps you that we weren't given in public school? It's recovery skills, mm-hmm. which I wasn't given nor around, nor did anyone want me to be around recovery skills. Because if you have recovery skills, you're a powerhouse. And that was taken away from me for what? Over a decade longer. Mm-hmm. You can't heal where you get sick. And they just wanted to keep you sick. So yeah, once I got that, I'm pretty much no longer allowed to be brought back because I'm intelligent now. I know, like, I can do my own stuff.
Right.
But I also don't believe in abuse and manipulation. So when I do create now, it's not in that way.
Sophia, how do you feel when you hear your mom talk about this stuff?
I support everything she says, honestly. And yeah.
I appreciate the support.
Yeah.
I appreciate
just the strength and like the knowledge, the self-awareness of it all. Because I think that, I mean, in my experience with Teen Mom, you have to go like beg for help. It's not just offered. Do you know what I mean?
I don't beg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I'm pretty strong with my stuff. So it's either I've done this enough, like, you know, I repeat enough. I'm tired of repeating. It's not if I'm broke. It's not if I'm wealthy. It's this is wrong. We need to fix it. My identity has taken like a huge hit over and over and over again. And how do you fix that? It's recovery skills. It's not money.
And when you say you were fired 3 times, I was under the impression that they gave you the option, you know, if you'll stop the sex toy thing, I think at the time. And are you comfortable talking about this in front of Sophia?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, sexual health and wellness. Wow. You know, anyone can talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So,
but it just,
yeah.
I remember the whole scandal during that time. And I thought it was like you weren't actually fired. It was like they gave you a choice. Either stop this and stay on Teen Mom, or don't stop this and you can't be on the show.
I'm also an adult woman.
Right. And I agree.
Yeah. So if you open the door and look outside of Teen Mom to the real life that we all live in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any woman's doing whatever she wants.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And if anyone else gets fired or something else happens in their work life from their personal life, that's also a lawsuit. Mm-hmm. That's not tolerated in other work environments.
And which you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that opened the doors for you to explore OnlyFans? Like
I didn't explore anything, just so anyone knows. Like, I don't really explore that. I think in life, when you do so well, things are naturally attracted to you. It's in your natural alignment. Was I a hot mess? And that's what adult entertainment really kind of is. Yeah, that was in my alignment at the time. And then I was just like, you know, getting sex trauma therapy. I was trying to figure out what all this is because people were sex shaming me, which isn't okay either. And so then when you have advocates and you have therapists and then you just really know what it's about, it's like, I never was doing anything wrong. I'm creating sexual health and wellness products, selling out worldwide because apparently there is this need for women and men, which I'm happy that I did that. And the company that had that, the manufacturer, sold out 3 times, made other people millionaires. And I got to travel the world. I got to see other things. I got to learn about other people being shamed in their sex lives, learn that it's not okay. And I should never have tolerated the firing and like the mental abuse from that shaming. And I think, again, it just goes back to me of like, you're a teen mom and shame, rejected, and blamed. And I just got to say, like, if we look outside of this disgusting world that is just not correct and it's sinking, it's teens were never included in equality and inclusion of proper contraception. And I have like a change.org thing about it right now, a petition. And if we were, like if we had a new law and I go get a lobbyist and I go make this happen, because 16-year-old boys are online right now searching for inclusion and how they can within their age. But yet if we're older, then we get all these contraception things, like vasectomy is like everything. You get to go plan your fertility. You get to go save this and then choose to have family. So it's like when people say this is not the right time for you, or they say you shouldn't be a part of something, they're not living your life. They have no jurisdiction to shame, blame, or reject you, especially if they're not helping, if they're not doing a petition, if they're not trying to do something for the next generation or anyone, then they should just be quiet because everyone's been quiet for so long, leaving teens out of the equation of contraception and sex that it's disturbing and disgusting to me, and then judging me. So yeah, I feel like everything has been timely. I'm happy that I've been a part of adult entertainment to whatever degree that I felt comfortable with. I'm happy I've won AVNs for novelty toys, videos I didn't edit and chop up, and I made other people millionaires. I'm happy that I've had the life that I've had. I literally don't regret anything. I think if anything, I need to push harder on inclusion and equity for teens who are turning into adulting. Like, when I look back right now, I feel like I'm almost really doing the best at adulting out of my cast, straight up. Financially, education-wise, looking back at it, living it, full circling it, I am so grateful for never being like, oh, I need to go like crawl in a corner and not be in my divine femininity because men are telling me they're going to fire me. Yeah, well, what if you just don't even need the show?
Right.
And then I blossomed. And then I just, I could stay in my house for 5 years and not need to walk out. I mean, it's just so nice.
Sophia, you're laughing. How do you feel about...
She's like, get the heck out of the house now. You're driving me crazy. So I am.
As the temps start rising, and by rising, I mean it's 95 degrees outside today, I feel the familiar urge to refresh my closet, but I'm not wasting money on pieces that I'll only wear one time. We need staples, and Quince has those. Their clothes are timeless, lightweight, and far more elevated than anything else you'll see at these price points. And it feels like my wardrobe is finally matching my standards, okay? They also have 100% European linen shorts and dresses from $30. They have luxe swimwear, Italian leather platform sandals, and so many more items. The best part is that everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands, and they work directly with top artisans, and they cut out the middleman. So Quince gives us the luxury without the markup. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I recently got a pair of sunglasses. I'll post a picture of those. And I have gold hoop earrings that I absolutely love. They're like a staple for every day. And you guys can give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/famous for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/famous to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/famous. How do you feel about your mom having worked in the adult entertainment industry? Do you have any feelings about it, or you're just, it doesn't matter?
I don't really think anything of it. I mean, it hasn't changed her as a person, and she's always been amazing. And it doesn't change her as a mom, and I'll always love her.
Thank you.
And I support her in everything she does.
So you don't have mixed feelings about it? Because I mean, during COVID, I explored OnlyFans, and I was like,
why is it like a naughty thing?
No, not even a naughty thing. I guess like,
girl, I know you're having sex and having kids, okay? Explore.
I just
live a little.
I didn't know what it was, so I was like looking into what OnlyFans is, and like, how much money could I really make, right?
Sure.
Like, wanted to see what was going on over there. But I don't know how that.
Do you do OFTV? Like, do you have your podcast on OFTV? A lot of my friends.
No, I'm not on OnlyFans.
Oh.
Like, I have no idea anything about it, but
You can make like, I know whatever this is.
Are you willing to talk about numbers?
Sure. I feel like you should, because here's the thing. I have so many other people who do podcasts, television shows, the originals, and I am such a supporter of OFTV in general because of like knowing so much about the podcast market and some of those things. I feel like it's a disservice for the majority of podcasters to be podcasting. But then when my girlfriends invited me to one of their podcasts, they have it mainstream, but then they also took it to OFTV. I was just so incredibly proud of those women, because people only think that they're gorgeous, pretty, and just, sex objects. But no, they turned it into a business that is lucrative. They have the initiatives for podcasting in LA are kind of different, which I was proud about them, like taking students of entertainment and film and bringing them in and then giving them these opportunities. But every time we did a podcast together, it was $30K straight cash. That's even after it goes through the OF payment processor. And I just was like, I was like, okay, I'll listen to you about it. And so, yeah, I did open up my OFTV page. And then I still do all the collaborations with the ladies. And I'm going to tell you, it's still the same. It's $30K and up every time I stop by. Like, there's no even reason to, like, pay me, because I know it's worthy of me coming together with them, because they figured out the platform, the initiatives, so it generates actual cash for them podcasting. And that's something I'm proud of. I think a lot of other people are just like throwing in tons of ads, trying to get all these sponsorships, but it never equals to that magnitude of money. So to me, yeah, I mean, if something's going to make you money, I'm going to bring it up. So OFTV for your podcast all day.
So you don't have to just have sex on there.
OFTV is a regular channel. They have like dating shows, they have cooking shows, they have like all sorts of stuff. Women traveling, men on there. I mean, it's a channel.
I had no idea. This is the first time I'm ever hearing of any of this. So you're making money from OnlyFans, not from like doing explicit content.
No, it's OFTV.
Okay, so I think that there's a big misunderstanding then online. I think people are thinking
you definitely can have your own promiscuous, sex life. Everyone's welcome to that, right? That's on OnlyFans. OFTV is a channel. They sponsor sports players. Comedians are on there. Everyone. Like, there's boatloads of talent that is just joining OnlyFans because of OFTV, right? You have to have the OnlyFans. It's a pipeline, right?
Okay.
And everything, marketing. I'm not talking to someone who doesn't know here.
Yeah.
But it's a pipeline, and it works.
So numbers wise, would you be willing to give a ballpark number of what you've made on OnlyFans as a whole today?
Okay. It's millions.
Millions of dollars. You don't have to specify, but so millions of dollars off of OnlyFans, whether it be OFTV or, explicit content, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
In a short time.
Yes, of course. Millions of dollars a year. Millions of dollars
still
even taken from me from OnlyFans. So it's lucrative. Okay. I don't think my page is ever going to be deleted. So it's crazy.
And then basically, how do you balance an OnlyFans job or jobs or, channel while raising Sophia? Because there's a misunderstanding, I think.
Okay. Well, I think if something's age appropriate, I don't know. Sophia's not ever really around, like, unless I'm bringing her to podcasts, she's doing her own thing. If I'm having my own personal, like, I don't know, some things are just not age appropriate, right? It's like, you don't go look at your girlfriend making her own, like, nude topless, right? So it's, But I have to say, I just, like, we have our own spaces in our own house to do whatever we want to do there. But whatever is age appropriate, but that's probably not so age appropriate, right?
So you just keep them separate. And you're able to function, live your lives, still have respect for your mom, still be able to parent, and just keep everything separate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just as simple as that.
Everything's pretty simple, right? Like,
Are you dating right now?
I'm not dating right now.
Do you have any desire to date right now?
I guess I am on dating apps. I guess.
Are you on Raya? We were talking about Raya this morning.
I feel like Raya is just not where I need. I also did a dating coaching program. I don't think the quality of what I'm trying to find is on Raya.
What are you looking for?
I would say my top 5, someone who has is spiritual, someone who has done their inner child work, has reparented themselves, has their own career, is business-minded. Unconditional love is something that I look for in someone. And who can just, embrace family life, because that's very important to me. So those are kind of like my top ones.
Do you have any deal breakers? Like, for me, I won't date someone with kids. Like, what would your
wow?
It narrows my pull down pretty far. But do you have any deal breakers?
I have to say though, I psychoanalyzed why I choose to date people with no children, and it just because I really feel like it comes from ease, right? All the attention can be on me. It can be fun. It can go into fantasy land. We don't have responsibilities. It's just like life's so easy. But I also feel like when I do date someone who has children and does not parent like I parent, that is, I don't like one of the things like my relationship coaches say is like when a man challenges you, that is never going to be a good relationship. And I've often seen, no matter how much money someone has, no matter how much wealth and nannies and whatever that they may have, we still will not sometimes see eye to eye on how to parent. And that is very disturbing to try to get close to someone and have a complete rift somewhere in there. So that's why I do probably tend to date people who don't have children. But it's also kind of frustrating when people put pressure on me when I date them who don't have children, who want children. And they're all like nervous. Like, am I going to be a good dad or a bad dad? I'm like, honestly, is it even worth the brain power thinking of this? No, you go right through it. So you figure it out. But I feel like that's the thing. I don't wonder anymore. I feel like I got the PhD in parenting. And so that's kind of like, now I really have to focus to see if someone's wanting children or not. So yeah, am I dating? I do date. Do I prioritize dating? I don't. And it's like I got like 5,000 boyfriends online. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And honestly, when I want a gift, I want a gift. When I want to go shop, I want to shop. When I want to go on a trip, I want to go on a trip. Most men who you get in a real relationship with can't just go do that. And yeah, so maybe when I'm like 40, if I want to chill, I'll do that. But I don't really have to in my dating life, and I'm not going to be mediocre with it.
Sophia, how would you feel if your mom was in a serious relationship? Do you think you'd be okay with it and you'd support it? Or do you feel like you love it being the two of you right now?
I mean, in her past relationship that lasted like 9 months, I was kind of iffy about it because I was so used to just me and my mom, and having a guy around that pretty much wasted her time. It was like...
Well, he was crossing boundaries, right? We had to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why he was in therapy with me every week. And I'm going to just say it like it is, ladies. You can throw the whole sink at someone. You could be their therapist. You can have them have a therapist, relationship therapist. But if someone is not ready to grow and reparent, and we already had this talk before we got into it, I was like, I'm not going to be dragged. If you get in my way of my daughter time, of my happiness, of anything, like, you gotta go. And I think a lot of men, when they're losing you, they just grip harder. You bought me a dog, bought us $1 million house. I was like, our therapist was like,
if he'll buy me a house, I might hit him up. Where is this man at?
Oh, he's in a deep dungeon off into the distance. Yeah, he got exiled, but he got exiled. He'll never come out of the hole.
Thank God.
So, but do you feel like you are on a different level than most men? Because I feel like between TV, comedy, your toys, your book, just everything that you do, and then obviously the money you make has to be intimidating to some men. Like, I always joke about the men in first class who look at me like I'm the scum of the earth when I get in first class, and they think they're better than me. And I'm like, I actually probably make more money than you, and I actually probably have more connections than you. So do you ever think about that while you're dating and you're like, I need to date someone on my same playing field, but what is our playing field, right? Like, where are we in this playing field? Because I live in Dover, Delaware. Nobody's going to ever make as much money as me there. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's just nowhere for, I can't date on my same playing field. So what about you?
Look, there's no right app. There's no right place. It is literally in how we reset our alignment of what we attract. And that is the best way I can answer that. Again, my dating coaches showed me this. I paid for them. I'm a part of this huge alumni of women who are all over the world. We just even checked in with the other day. And some of the girls were pregnant. Some of them got married. And they have the guardian of their souls. They got the love of their lives. And, sometimes you will meet these imposters. And once you meet your imposters in your dating life, like I have, I'm sure you have, everyone has, you then just you wait. And for the right one. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm having a good time. I'm having a ball. I'm having guys buy me all sorts of stuff and take me all over the place. Okay? Because I don't have to play by anyone's rules and shame and blame. They don't affect me. So yeah, I would say there is no right place. It is all in how you attract. And that is it.
I have Everyday Dose right here with me, and let's talk about the struggle of bloating and discomfort after your morning coffee with regular coffee. I have a solution, and that solution is drinking Everyday Dose consistently because your bloating will reduce and your face will be less puffy, and I absolutely love it. It's affordable and covers all your bases in 1 cup of coffee. It takes 30 seconds to make you the coffee, plus get a bunch of supplements and vitamins, minerals, and amino acids when you drink it. I'm getting older. Obviously, that means less collagen is being produced, but collagen is less about quantity and more about consistency. And Everyday Dose makes the ritual easy to support your skin, hair, and nails. Everyday Dose is coffee plus benefits. So in case you haven't heard of this, it combines 100% Arabica coffee with powerful ingredients like lion's mane and chaga, collagen, protein, and nootropics to fuel your brain, boost focus, and give you clean, sustained energy all day long, which, as you know, I need. There's no crash, no jitters, just clean, sustained energy. And there are 2 products that I want to talk about, which is Coffee Plus and Coffee Plus Bold. These are amazing. And you guys can get 45% off your first subscription order of 30 servings of Coffee Plus or Bold Plus. You'll also receive a starter kit with over $100 worth of free gifts, including a rechargeable frother and gunmetal serving spoon by going to everydaydose.com/famous or entering famous at checkout. You'll also get free gifts throughout the year, and that's everydaydose.com/famous for 45% off your order. That's everydaydose.com/famous for 45% off your first order.
I've told stories and some of these comedy bits of podcasts Sophia and I have stopped by. It's like, I just make everyone go away from me. I just want to go eat dinner, and like someone will chime in and it ends up being a billionaire. Like, and I'm not trying. I don't have to try. It's literally reset your aura, have your vision. Again, the Michelangelo effect, your top 5, and you just go for it. And again, they had us doing journals. I read over 40 books. I did 12 modules. I did more and more personal work. And I think like that's all the difference. And so when a guy comes all the time on a date and he hasn't done his personal work, and I'm like, oh, you remind me of, and I'm talking nice and I'm talking casual, I'm figuring it out, and it's like, okay, we're gonna be friends. Like, I have no problem being nice right away. I actually don't show up for many dates. I'll make them do Zoom dates, and they rave about the Zoom date. They still want to like date me. They still want to buy me trips. They still want to do everything. But a lot of men, this is the thing. It's like, they are not secure. You cannot cure insecurity. If you come into something with insecurity, it will come out. And that's what the thing is with one of the relationships that Sophia was talking about, one of the recent one, like last year one, I haven't been really dating seriously since, is the insecurity. I allowed his insecurity of lack of self-development in my relationship sphere. And I should never have allowed that. As a good person, as a good friend, I should have just said, like, God bless you, but I was too kind. A lot of moms are too kind. So it's just like, don't be kind in your relationship. Like, when you go to get pants and you know your ass is fat and you try to make this work and it just doesn't work. I can't hop, I can't jump, I can't get the zipper redone, I can't put on the button, I can't, blow my brains out about how to get these jeans on. You just move on to the next jeans. Okay?
So like,
women will drive themselves crazy over men. But what you got to learn is there's nothing to get crazy about. There will be a right man. There are so many good men out there. And there is sadly a lot of people who are still lost in the sauce of trying to figure out themselves. And that's not our journey. So I can't do that. I developed one amazing human right here. My daughter. And, men who weren't developed by their parents, they see me and they're like, oh, and it's like the Holy Grail. But I am not here to develop someone else unless you're going to pay me $50,000 like I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to be the person who I am today. There's a price on that. So, yeah, when people are like, oh, my God, you make men pay to talk to you, I'm a person of value and quality. I improve their life. And women really need to look at themselves as improving people's lives, expanding men's worlds. Men pay for that. That's what they want.
So how do you teach Sophia this? Do you just watch this and you are taking mental notes?
Sophia wasn't just learning this. No. I had to back up and go get success coaches and therapists and just remove myself. Because at a time, a guy who was lost was trying to put a wedge between our great transparent relationship.
I think I've learned from her mistakes.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Do you take in, like when she's talking about, you said something about the 12
step principles.
Yeah.
It's a guide of life.
Can we talk about that in a second?
Yeah. They're free for anyone.
So do you take that in and you're like taking notes and trying to like retain that for whenever you decide to be in a relationship? Like, are you using,
Yeah, I mean, 12 steps definitely doesn't only help with relationships. It really does. But it mostly helped me with my mental health over the years.
Right.
If your spiritual melody is ever off in life, like again in yoga, you have a guide. 12-step principles is a guide to life. You'll often see it in churches, recovery programs. Tony Robbins has it for his finances. The relationship program that I was talking to you about that's worldwide, Lisa Shield, she took what she learned in the 12-step program, she applied it to relationships, and that's why people have such a high success rate. So 12-step principles is anywhere and everywhere in life. And when you get off of those in work, like I was just saying, like I'm not going to go run myself ragged for comedy, like so many I'm seeing, I'm balanced. And that's what I was taught to do. And like I took 2 years off so I could just get this in my life. So yeah, it's brotherly love. It's like, honestly, I don't want to say it like this, but it's common sense things, but the world gets heavy. We kind of get out of that common sense and we run ourselves down, and 12-step principles will always help you flourish. And I think like that's the easiest way I can say it without being like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. But I do have this on my YouTube. I literally opened up my 12-step trauma program booklet on my YouTube. Sophia and we talk about the 12-step principles and our parent and child relationship on Fearlessly Female podcast. It's only on like our YouTube like members area for people with my masterclass. So I think it's not like for, even when you put it up for free, it's not for people who, you have to really want the 12 steps, okay? Yeah. Like I've had so many people at my 12-step program for intensive healing, and they just get out of there and want to go be homeless and get back to drugs and get back to running themselves ragged. So when you want it, you figure out your low point. Every low point's different. And yeah, then you get it, and life is amazing, really.
And how does ketamine therapy fit into all of this? Like your entire, journey of elevating yourself?
Yeah. So ketamine I used in December of this last year. So it's only been like a couple months I feel like I've done it. It's changed my life. Ketamine is just, like the therapists say, it is like fresh snow on your train tracks, on your memory. It opens up your brain pathways. And a lot of our brain pathways are closed. And you have repetitive thoughts, and you circulate. You have anxiety. You get depression. There's a lot of negative things that go on in the brain. And if you do ketamine right, which look, I got a lot of people saying they're doing ketamine right now, but they're not doing it how I did it. I did ketamine under supervision, under my insurance. Shout out to Heading Health. They got merch now. They're blowing up. And so, yeah, they monitor my blood pressure. They monitor my heart. They make sure everything is working great. You can also overdose. You can also die from ketamine. There's a lot of other things. So when I say to people, I did ketamine, I was also sitting next to a comedian the other night. He's like, oh, yeah. I turn on, I'm not making fun of him. Do ketamine however you want to do it. But he's like, I turn on Bullet Train and then I snort it. And so, like, I have never been, like, when my friends are saying all sorts of craziness, I have never been the person to do, like, black market drugs. I know how to get drugs through a doctor. I make sure it's good for me. I make sure I know what I have in my system. And my body has been through a lot of things. And honestly, if I wasn't figuring out what I was doing and taking, I probably wouldn't be the healthiest person right here before you. So, yeah. If anyone's hearing this, there's been a lot of discrepancies, doctors making videos of me and ketamine this week, which I wasn't really cool with. So I never did ketamine for, I just want to like correct this because again, doctors are making videos of this. I think it's a little like worrisome. I did not ever do ketamine for anything with my parents. There is no parental rage. I have bigger things going on than old stuff that I've already done therapy on. There's just like a magnitude again with this whole full circle thing of Sophia turning 16. And I was very much, I had a traumatizing event when I was 16, which her dad passed away. And yeah, that's been, with recovery skills and everything, that's been severely challenging for me even this year because, yeah, I would love for someone to be here.
Yeah. And it probably was full circle because she had just turned 16 and, you have to relive all of that.
Yeah, I remember her father turning 16. I remember him graduating at this time. I remember him dying. I remember all of these things, and that is so heavy on someone's mind. And so the only way that you can recorrect these things after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on recorrecting this is, hey, like, I need to go open up my brain.
Okay.
I need to go make new, like, pathways. And I think if anyone's hearing something about ketamine is go make a new pathway for yourself amongst loss, depression, all sorts of traumatic events. We have so much traumas in our lives that we normalize. But yeah, it's not about my parents. I get really bothered about that. I also have like legal issues and things that are going on. And I think if anyone owns a lot of stuff, if anyone does a lot with their life, you deserve, every mom who hears this deserves some supervised ketamine. You will have the best holiday of your life. You will have the best career of your life. And I hope that anyone hears this is, I just want people to be successful. There is a successful way of doing ketamine, and there is a non-successful way of doing ketamine.
I love getting into bed with my Boll and Branch sheets. It quiets all the noise, especially with 7 kids. And their signature sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton. They feel so smooth when you get into bed. You can spend every night with the softest feeling imaginable. And like I said, these best-selling sheets feel buttery, they're breathable, and they're softer with every wash. I absolutely love them. And you can discover the difference with Boll and Branch's 30-night guarantee. With Boll and Branch's best-selling Kail sheets, you'll never sleep hot again. I have the duvet cover with the insert, the sheets, the pillowcases, all of it, and I absolutely love them. I've washed them twice. They get softer with every wash, and I just love the aesthetic of it. I think they look good, they feel good, and I want everyone to sleep as well as I do with these sheets. Boll and Branch products are made different, so you can sleep better at night. Like I said, woven with the finest 100% organic cotton on earth, and they're crafted by artisans who earn the pay and respect they deserve. So they have designs and colors for every single bedroom style and mattress size. I have a king. I love them. And these all-season sheets have a breathable, unmatched softness to start. These sheets are the perfect foundation for Boll and Branch's airy bed blankets, cloud-like duvets, which I said I have. And you can try Boll and Branch's sheets for an entire month, and there's no catch. You can wash them, style, and feel the difference for yourself risk-free. If you don't get your best night's sleep ever, you can send them back for a full refund, which is a game changer for me. I love a company that stands behind their products. Feel the difference an extraordinary night's sleep can make with Boll and Branch. Get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com/barelyfamous. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/barelyfamous to save 15%. Exclusions apply. See site for details. And how do you feel about your mom doing ketamine?
I don't really think anything of it. I mean,
Sophia took me to ketamine.
That's my next question. So you drove her to the appointment?
Yeah.
So do you watch the appointment then, or do you sit in the waiting room?
No one's allowed to be in the room with you.
Okay. Yeah. And so when you are in an altered state of mind, would we call it?
Yeah.
How
in the room.
Right. So genuine question here is like, what if the doctor did something to you? Like, are you that far out of it that you wouldn't know, or would you
So I'm not getting these injected. I think some people, there's many ways of doing ketamine. I do it like 2. I put it in my cheek. I am highly aware about anything, honestly. And
okay.
Ketamine also makes you highly aware of everything. Again, your brain is opening up bigger than it's probably ever been opened. You're like, oh, whoa. And you see things, you hear things, you're highly aware of things. So I don't really think that anyone could ever take advantage. No one's ever tried that in there. I think they're honestly probably scared of people when they're going. I think my staff gets scared maybe, and they are so professional there. When people are going through whatever the ketamine needs to do to reset and get them focused on their successful journey. I call it a higher self. They let it all go.
Okay. So it's not like you're high and out of control.
You're also on camera.
Oh, okay. See, I've never.
The only other person. So a lot of people stop going in person with insurance and doctors because they get freaked out that they're on camera. Obviously, I don't care if I'm on camera, but I actually appreciate that extra security because it is a what if. You're different every time you go in there, and these professionals really know how to handle people in every kind of different situation. And I've seen people be so different every time walking in and out of there. So again, I wouldn't want anyone to judge me, and I definitely don't judge them. They are highly professional. Go be yourself. Go get your therapy. Be a freak show. Do whatever you got to do.
Be a freak show. So how long does
2 hours. I'm there for 2 hours.
Okay. I feel like that's doable, but you're not under any sort of influence when you leave? Because that scares me. It scares me to think about like still being high or something after I leave and I have to go function in real life. Like I have 7 kids. I have to raise them. You know what I mean? Like I gotta
You're gonna raise these kids way better after ketamine. I gotta say, it's like, I'm telling you, moms.
Go get on ketamine, basically, the healthy way.
I mean, I only think like for moms is like you need to have anti-nausea medication. I think a lot of people are like, whoa, I'm so like on something. No, you're actually like nauseated from ketamine, but you think you could be tripping. And I think lots of people are not knowledgeable about that. So because I never got like sick when I was pregnant, I don't get sick when I'm on cruises or anything, I don't really get sick and nauseated. But ketamine did. And I didn't know what it was for the first 3 times. And then I was like, whoa, I was really like bonkers there for like all night. And she's like, you were nauseated with ketamine. So now they give me like 2 little like tablets that you dissolve for your stomach and digestion. But do that, guys. You'll be fine.
Would you support Sophia if she wanted to do ketamine?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think, I probably feel like a lot of children who either have a lot of stress, go through a lot of stress, go through public eye, any of that stuff, if you go through trauma, again, I highly recommend ketamine. I think, as I've been hearing from my doctors, the future with recovery and anything that children or adults go through, this is like their go-to. And mostly it's usually saving people in life-threatening situations, like not an EpiPen, but they're shooting people with ketamine to save their lives right now, whether it's children or adults.
I actually didn't know that. Off camera, we started talking about plastics. Would you support...
My favorite things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a stranger to a little nip and tuck, but would you support Sophia if she came to you at 18 and was like, I want to get some stuff done?
I mean, I think it's just part of life. I think it's part of being a woman. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I mean, we know what's good, right? We get a doctor's opinion. We know what we can and can't do for our body anatomy. And I think, you got to stick to a professional with it.
Do you think the work that you've had done has influenced your mom to get work done? Or do you think that she was...
I also think just anyone who is definitely their senior is totally going to get work done.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm anyone's muse for getting their work done. I think everybody should, again, do preventative, should take care of themselves. Again, it's just more recovery time. It's more money if you just hold it off. I mean, I think I was like the first person in my family in general to be open to plastic surgery, to aesthetics, to taking care of my health and wellness better than anyone I've ever seen in my family. They definitely had some words to say about that when that started. And so I went and I did it myself because, and I'm very happy that I take care of my health, wellness, beauty, aesthetics, skin. It pays off. So I'm happy, and I'm happy that my family is doing it.
What is the relationship with your family?
I don't really have like a communication with, again, like I break trauma bonds. So if there's trauma, I'm not really sitting in that anymore. So I'm cordial with them. I'm cordial with my parents. They loved my comedy thing.
Were they there?
No, they were not there. They were not invited. I mean, a lot of people weren't invited, but they still showed up.
So they weren't there, but did they support you? Did they text you, call you, anything?
They liked it.
Yeah.
They just text me. I really don't take calls with my family anymore. I really have my own boundaries that are healthy. And I think once you stop trauma, but I feel like a lot of people don't understand this. When you care about someone so much and you actually love them and you want what's best for someone, breaking a trauma bond within your family that is so deep is a healing, most beneficial thing that you can ever do for anyone in your life. So when I now check in with them and they're doing, they have their own lives. It's not codependence. It's not unhealthy. It's not integrated. It's like not a mess anymore. They have their own identities. They have their own lives. They don't, rely on me to support them in any way or fashion. And again, that's against my 12-step principles. So I live life in a healthier way. I am so proud of my half-sister. I'm so proud of my cousins. I'm so proud of my dad. I'm so proud of my mom. And people, as we saw on Teen Mom, were like, oh, you can't just X everybody out of your life and be on your own. And it's not really about hating or disliking people or anything else. It's really seeing what is healthier and better for everyone. And I'm so grateful that I did that, because now everyone is really doing better, flourishing in their own way. And that's just a testament to stop trauma bonds.
So you're saying that it wasn't only beneficial for you, it was beneficial for them too.
For sure it is. Yeah.
And Sophia, how do you feel? Do you have contact with them, or do you sort of put up your own boundaries as well and interact in that way?
I choose not to contact them.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with that.
I thought I remembered you having a sister. I didn't realize she was a half sister on the either 16 and pregnant or something. Yeah. And you don't have contact. Is your whole family in Idaho?
Iowa.
Do you ever go back there?
In Austin, Texas. I love Iowa. I miss Iowa. Shout out to the big O, Omaha, Iowa. It's those cities, those states. I love it. Midwest area, you can't get anything better. Midwest raised, you can't find anything better. But I think, with, again, keeping distance, respecting other people's space, leaving things open. Again, I'm not creating any more trauma bonds in my life. So if that's like, leave it on hold and don't fly into a city that you take over. I can't just like walk into small cities and not anyone know that I'm there. So I respect that for them and for myself. And I stay out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I understand that. You did say that they don't rely on you or anything. Did you previously support them?
Yeah.
Financially?
Yeah.
Just because you were on TV and then your career kind of exploded and then you just started taking care of your family financially?
I don't know why or how it all succumbs to that, but I think a lot of people, even if they're not family, they get bombarded with, hey, can you, pay for this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Da, 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 all the time. So yeah, that's unhealthy. That's against the 12 steps.
But you were helping people when they asked at first?
Yeah.
I think we've all been there. I mean, whether we were on the show or not, we've all helped somebody, but it was to the point that it was unhealthy.
Totally is. It's really unhealthy in any situation. Codependence is financially or codependence emotionally is not healthy.
I have been, I feel like, in a very unique situation because my family members have never asked me for a dime. So I find that to be so fascinating. Like I have a hard time. Yeah. It's not everyone's experience, but
that's nice.
And I mean, lastly, where do you see yourself with comedy, parenting, all of the things in the next 6 months?
I don't know, elevated.
Another comedy show? Yeah, you did invite me to the last comedy show. Okay. I couldn't make it. Yes. Would you do another one, you think, by the end of the year? Or do you think you're going to slow it down and...
So May is looking like it's insane. So like we're even having like double shows the same day. So I'm just trying to take some April off. May is going to be fun. It's also Mother's Day month. And who doesn't want to be like in a beach and have, just bliss and greatness and then good mom times and good laughs. So yeah, I think May I'll probably just like divulge like some tour dates. Again, I also just don't like to say things super in advance.
Right.
I just know like something crazy is going to show up. So when it's up, it's up. If you show up, you show up. And if you don't, it's all good.
I love that. And what about you, Sophia? You have any plans for the rest of the year? Like goals, places you want to visit?
I mean, a big goal is going on Icon of the Seas cruise ship this summer.
I love how we skipped school. We're just on to the seas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, world school, right? She's learning while she's on the cruise.
Always, but... Yeah.
I mean, I really want to study more music this year and get into music production.
Okay.
And focus on singing and making music.
Mm-hmm. Do you play any instruments?
I do. I play electric guitar. I used to do piano, but it's kind of like faded.
Do you showcase any of that on social media? Like your guitar or anything like that?
Not really, but I plan on doing it once I learn a few songs and eventually make my own songs.
That would be awesome. Mm-hmm. And I know that you have a mom that's been in the music industry, so she'll be able to...
Cult following. Hello.
So that'll be awesome. And I feel like social media is such a good way to like showcase talents and build a brand. And so you have that right at your fingertips, which is amazing. So I'm really excited for you.
It's so creative. It's so fun. So where are your kids today?
They're all at school right now, and except for the babies, obviously, and they're home, and they are just thriving. I just got a text from Isaac while we were taking a break. He got into he's 15, so he's would be you're a sophomore?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's a freshman. He got picked for the shop that he wants to do in his high school. Like you do the different shops, and then you go into the like academies that you want to do.
Okay.
So he got into his, and he's so excited.
What was like the theme, or what?
So there's like broadcasting, nursing, teaching, and so he wants to do ASL interpreting. So he's big into sign language, and so he's doing the teacher academy so that he can eventually teach sign language. So that he literally texted that to me when we were getting touch ups, and I was like, "This is so cool. I gotta send him something."
Yeah. I love sign language.
Do you?
Well, I got Sophia's.
I used to do it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I got Sophia so many sign language books. I even saw them the other day, and I was like, should I be keeping these? I love sign language. There was just a lot of people, like Iowa School of the Deaf, and so like some of them would come to my public school, and I just always befriended people who really use sign language.
I love that. Isaac wants to make sign language available and have like the basic signs for everybody, like make it more inclusive. That's his goal. So that's amazing, and I know that he'll love to hear that story.
Yeah,
that'll be really cool. He there's a woman that works at our Target who is deaf, and she uses sign language, and so he was able to speak with her in sign language, which was really cool.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just like it.
Oh, I love that. People are saying that you were slammed because Jersey Shore, Angelina's ex, I guess, went to your show, your comedy show.
Yeah, again, I can't control who shows up.
Right. And obviously the bigger names that are there, I don't even know his name. Vinny, I guess. He wrote it down for me.
And we're probably like, is it Vinny from the OG Jersey Shore? Because like we don't know this other Vinny.
Right.
So yeah, not that Vinny, who also does comedy.
Oh, right. I forgot that he just started comedy.
Yeah, so weird.
Would you ever partner with him?
So he used to reach out to me, and my team did invite him. They were like, he's not being responsive. I extended a personal invite, didn't respond. And again, I really do feel like, and I hope whoever hears this, if you're in comedy and you have a brand, it does such a disservice to let your ego get in the way of something. And for the amazing, talented OG comedians I've even seen with on this trip, they always are helpful.
Yeah.
There's no competition. They're not concerned or worried. Like, they give me agents, they give me comedy tour agents. There is no competition. And I think, like, with dating, like in real life, it's like, whoa. Like, what is this hatred or, like, anything that's blocking you when you used to, you know, like, want to hang out. But now it's like, there's no competition. So I do feel like, I don't know. And I don't really know about everyone's mental state. So I think also, like, with this whole Angelina situation and this Vinny situation, that was like disturbing. I don't like to be wrapped into someone else's dating issues, woman issues, their problems, mistreatment of other people in general. And yeah, that's what that was. It was like a little woman abuser situation and trying to get me into that. And there's just so many unhealthy men out there that I really have a huge boundary for that. And I definitely just like cut it off like right away. Yeah. And apparently his mental health was impacted. So I hope with everyone spreading their trauma and their mental health around problems to other women, they understand like this woman just stops it here. And I will always vouch for other women, even women who are in like narcissistic simulations and who are lost. And even if they hate me saying what I got to say, it's really just for the betterment of all women. And I'm happy other women he was dating came forward. They got to speak about what they were going through. They were also moms, I guess. And, you know, it's kind of been like the same situation with my sexual assault. 16 other women came forward. And if this voice didn't stand up and say something, where would women be helped? They would just be in silent suffering. And that's not what I want for women.
No, absolutely not. Especially when you're raising a daughter.
A lot of people are raising daughters.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get with the program.
Yeah. I just had a daughter, my first one, Sophia. I don't know if you know. I have 6 boys.
No, tell me what's up.
Yeah, I have 6 boys and a girl. And the girl only came because she had a boy twin.
Whoa.
So, yeah. So I just had a daughter. It's definitely new, but that was one of the first things that I thought when I had her was, oh my gosh, like yes, it can happen to boys, but women are suppressed and oppressed and all of the things. Yeah. And so I just think about, you know, women who stand up for women is what we need. So,
well, your little lady's gonna be standing up straight up to all of her, of her brothers.
I hope so.
Right?
I hope so.
Or I hope they are.
I hope they stand up for her. I hope they, you know, that they collectively have a voice and can speak up.
Where do your sons stand with women and females? And I don't know, because of their schools and their influences. Like, what are you seeing collectively in your sons that you're raising in public school? Because I took my daughter out of that.
Right.
The boys were a mess, attacking my daughter, talking about my sex life, even in kindergarten. And I was just like, whoa, boys were not like this when I was in kindergarten. I just like even got like bumps up my leg because it was so disturbing to me. And also the parents of these sons, you know, God bless these young boys who are just literally lost. But you're at a 10 out of 10 school. You're in like an amazing environment. I just didn't understand how that was happening at school. So how do your sons get those impacts and deal with it?
We haven't had any experience so far with people coming up to my kids. I think that they understand that we're sort of well known in our area, but that's sort of the extent of it. I don't have those same coming home and talking about sex and things like that. So I think that's actually really disturbing. Yeah. I will say that I have noticed, and I don't know if it's similar to you. I mean, my sons are being raised by a single mom. Yeah. They do also have like their stepmoms and, you know, their dads are with their partners. And so they have sort of a unique perspective from me because they see me do things by myself and the hard things by myself. And so they understand that women are just as strong as men. Yeah. And they've never questioned that. That's been their understanding since day one. Yeah. So I think I hope, and I do worry about it on a regular basis, like my sons growing up to be productive, stand-up men in society and have character and morals and things like that, especially when it comes to women. Yeah. So
and you're saying that this is a benefit, right? Because like I would say that community, it was mostly women. So in this community, like if we're looking at, because you're like, oh, my sons have like a, you know, a girl, male figure, like all around them. Mm-hmm. But in our community, all the men would work. I was the only working mom. I also owned 3 stores in the community, sponsored all the football teams, cheerleaders, all the kids. Like, I was Jesus. But the men were so, like, my neighbor sold his house in a day because he couldn't stand, like, it was like Disneyland at my house. And it wasn't that over at their house. And it created a very bad dynamic of spoiling, and like we got a pony and like their kids want to come over and I can't because their parents are crazy to me. And then like their wives are just stay at home. So it was like stay at home wives. Some were getting killed by their husbands. That was very worrisome in that neighborhood. Some were being abused around the holidays. That was very worrisome. And so, yeah, I was like, I don't think suburbs are for me. Like if the women just stay at home, the men kind of abuse them. They're like, it was like not a vibe, and maybe that's why the children came to school the way that they did. Okay. If you're saying, I'm just trying to place how child development here is playing a role in how men treat, or young boys treat young girls, and what's age appropriate and how we talk to people. That was just super appalling to me because I wasn't raised like that.
I wonder if my sons, and I hope they are, turn out to be a little bit different simply for the fact that they're watching their mom be the breadwinner and working my ass off and working 12 jobs and opening a new business. And so they're not seeing what you're describing. My kids are not seeing that. They're seeing the opposite, where I'm the working mom and the dads are staying home, most of them. And
you like stay at home dads? Why did that ever happen? I'm so sorry.
That's a great question. I think this goes back to our conversation about the playing field.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know you better than anyone else. So it's like, I'd rather ask who you were then and who you are now, right? As we're all, growing here. Because, I don't put up with that.
I think that where I live in Delaware, there's not somebody on my playing field ever, whether it be, their mindset, their finances, their goals. Like, where we live does not provide them, no matter how they grew up, whether they met me or they met somebody else, does not give them the opportunity to be bigger or better than me. So I don't really, my pool is limited.
But you can date, here, anywhere, everywhere.
And get cheated on?
Why would you be cheated on?
Because they are out of state.
I've dated someone in different countries and never been cheated on.
I think I need to take the 12-step program. I need to do the principles.
I'm like, why are we even
I think you should share your content.
I'm like, why are you even thinking you would be cheated on? No, none of those thoughts.
Okay, so you're gonna have to connect me with the goals, the relationship coaches.
You need to have men though sign some NDAs.
Oh, they all are signing NDAs for sure. All need to sign NDAs. And you know what? That's another thing that we didn't talk about.
ready. I got mine unlocked.
Do you?
That's why you won't ever find the guy with who just buys $1 million houses and houses and houses, because that's locked away.
Have you ever had a problem with people trying to sell you out after a fallout?
Yeah. So initially when I was on Teen Mom, the guy who actually initially got me to go visit Austin, Texas, where he ended up, that gentleman ran right to E! News and was saying how a horrible mom I was and all this stuff. But I didn't even date him that long. And I was just like, you know what? I'm never having this happen again, because he's on covers of magazines. He's in magazines. I'm like, again, power tripping. I don't have any space for egotistical power tripping and hatred. And that's what runs rampant in undeveloped men. And so I just don't allow it.
Right. I think that's fair. I think that's good. It's a good example to set for Sophia. I'm sure you feel good about that. And you're not going to take any shit from anyone moving forward.
Mm-hmm. No,
friends,
doesn't.
family, men, women, anybody. I think that sets the tone and the standard very high for your daughter. Yeah.
Soph's got a great boyfriend and
you have a boyfriend?
Yeah, and a great family. Oh. And he lives out of state and doesn't cheat.
Wow. Imagine that. Imagine
that. He flies on in. We fly on out there. And he's homeschooled as well. And great family. He has brothers and sisters my age or older. And his mom's cool. It's so easy.
I love that.
Shout out to Utah. I like some Utah people.
Would you ever get a house in Utah? Have someone buy you a house in Utah?
I don't know. Sophia definitely wants.
Yeah. That's the next location.
Sophia, so we were like, yeah. But then we're like, oh, should we get a place? And I guess we'll have a couple places. That's just kind of our spirit.
I love the mountains there.
You do? Yeah. I've never been to Utah.
They're mesmerizing.
Oh my gosh. Your kids and you would love Utah.
I've never been.
If you guys like Delaware, you'd like Utah.
We there's nothing in Delaware. Have you been to Delaware?
I have.
You have?
Me and my family went on this coastal trip when I was younger and definitely remember Delaware, all of it.
It's a peninsula, so it's sort of like Florida, but not as great as Florida. Mm-hmm. It's just flat. There's a lot of I have a farm, so it's just regular, Yeah.
Well, why did you stay in Delaware?
My ex-husband was stationed there for the military, and then because we had kids, and then I had more kids, can't leave now. So we're stuck in Delaware for the foreseeable future. It's okay.
You're just stuck there?
Yeah. The judge is never going to let me leave, so.
So you're like, I'm having more children.
Yeah, I'm done having kids now, but the judge is not going to be like, yeah, sure, take all 7 kids and head on out.
Why not?
Great question. Maybe you could ask him. Maybe you can go advocate for the women in Delaware.
Well, what do you feel needs to be advocated for women who have moved on in relationships, who continue on families and continue wanting to see the world or whatever? Like, where does that advocacy need to be? Like, that's something that
I need
can
to
lobby.
Yeah, I would agree with you because I think that it's interesting. You know, two of my kids' dads, they don't live in Delaware, but I do not have the luxury to be able to file and then be able to keep all my kids and take them with me. So that's a really interesting point.
So how did the dads get to leave? I'm sorry.
One left on his own without saying a word. The other one did it correctly, said something. You know, we went through a custody agreement and his job moved him. And that was also an argument, was like, well, I could have been in LA or Texas or New York for the last 10 years. And I have never tried because I was under the impression that you cannot take your kids out of Delaware. It's like a 50-50 state. So immediately following a split, unless there are extenuating circumstances, you get 50-50 custody typically.
I see all the gaps in all this reasoning for you to just get up and go.
You're like, we'll worry about the legal aspect of it later. Just get up and go.
You can give your notice, but you love Delaware.
I like Delaware. I like Delaware. I would not say I love it. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's all I had for you. I'm so excited that you guys came on Barely Famous Podcast.
Shout out to Delaware.
Yeah.
Where
can everyone find you on socials if you feel like sharing? And what are you promoting, if anything? Feel free to plug it all.
We're promoting a good life for you at home. And yeah, you can find us on our social medias. Sophia Abraham, Farrah Abraham, Google it. We're here, we're there, we're everywhere. And we can't wait to see you all.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
We love chatting.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.